There's a storm a-coming. Hey there, welcome to Cathro Vision, the daily video series bringing you all the behind the scenes action, technical analysis from the Downhill Mountain Bike World Cup season. Today I'm in Val Di Sole, more like Val di Pioggia, am I right? I think that means rain. So yeah, we got rain on the forecast, it's rolling in, the thunder is clapping above our heads. So let me quickly get this intro done. This is my second take, I did get rained on just a second ago. So national champs races have been happening all over the country, so we've got a few national champions turning up at this round. One person that didn't become a national champion because he had a bit of an incident was the Canadian junior Patrick Laffey. He had a bad crash at their champs and punctured his lung, which sounds horrendous. So he's recovering from that. He won't be at this round or the next one, but hopefully he'll be back for world champs, Mont Saint Anne. Home race, he's got to be back for that. Another rider that's not going to be here this weekend is Instagram hero Braga Vestavik. He had probably one of the most horrendous sounding accidents I think I've ever heard. He crashed on a wooden bridge, put his hands out and his fingers got stuck between the slats. Just, oh, minging. Ripped a fingernail off, broke some fingers. So yeah, he's not going to be racing this weekend. That's why when you crash, what I recommend you do is don't go out like that. Come in with a fist. I think it's much stronger. Another rider that's been missing in action since Andorra, I think, is Jur Zabiek. And thanks to someone in the comments that said all Eastern European J's are pronounced with a Y. I'll make sure to go and tell Rob Warner that this weekend. Turns out, just before it, he had a training accident and ripped a ligament off his thumb. He landed on his thumb and it just like snapped the ligament off. Ugh, nasty injury. He's quite embarrassed about how it happened, and I cannot tell you how, but it was embarrassing. I'll let you debate about what might have happened in the comments. It's such a shame for him though, because he just got his best result of the season with a 10th place in Leogang. Fingers and thumbs crossed, he heals up good and we'll see him at the end of the year. Charlie Harrison is a man back on the bike after breaking his scaphoid earlier in the year, and interestingly enough he didn't even know he'd broken it at the time. It was at the Leogang World Cup, just before race runs, crashed, hurt his wrist, did his race run anyway, came I think 7th, and then he got an x-ray afterwards. Turns out he was racing with a broken wrist. So he's had surgery on that, he's recovered, just got second at their national champs. And he's going to be here this weekend racing. If you feel I've missed anyone out in terms of updates, please dive down into the comments, let all the viewers know, because I can't keep track of everyone. Thanks. So just before we dive down into track walk, usually I would announce the sponsor of today's video, but there isn't one because I've been so disorganized this summer I just forgot to organize one. So enough of the chat, let's head down the track, heading down the Black Snake. So yeah, get ready for a lot of innuendos all over Instagram this week. Innuendo. Let's get on it. So out the start gate, riders immediately go into a couple of beautiful, smooth, delightful berms. But interestingly enough, in years past, people have crashed in these on the first run. Whether they just come in a bit too hot or kind of over anticipate the grip, I'm not sure. Guaranteed I'll come here tomorrow and film for like 3 hours and it'll be absolutely fine. In years past, the run up to that berm where Greg's walking right now gets a lot of braking bumps, real fast entrance. Some riders started insiding it, but they've taped it really wide in the entrance this year. Maybe you could actually hip it in off that bank and then inside. That would look sick. One of those things that's probably pointless, but it just looked rad. Not much has changed at the top. So Greg, you were experimenting with longer chain stays, reach cups, and have you got any further along the process? You got anything different this weekend?
Well, we've got something different, but we haven't really tested it, so we're not going to try it out. But yeah, we've got a couple different sizes to try. We thought that like the size that we tried was too big a jump. Yeah. And although we might end up on that size, it's like you still got to take baby steps and feel comfortable on the bike. And we got different lengths, different swing arm. Yeah. But I think we're gonna have a little feel and a little play on it after track walk, just to see. We can do like a real small increment. And if we can run the same sag and everything else feels about the same, then we'll probably run it. Cool. If we have to change and adjust, then we stick to what we've got.
Nice. After the wide open top section, we get into what Val Di Sole's known for, roots and rocks. At the moment it really only looks like there's one main line, but we've got a lot of room between the tapes, so riders will experiment.
On the live feed it kind of looks pretty loamy. What's the reality?
Not quite that.
This is it now, Ben.
This is what you've been reduced to.
Just been reduced to panning and zooming on iPhones.
I'm liking the little finger hookup. Oh!
2-finger holding of larger smartphones, and when you want to put it in your pocket, pushes flat. And if, so for example, you're watching Luca on the SCS Syndicate Instagram, you could prop it up like that.
Not available at all web stores.
What's it come to? I'm slightly embarrassed.
So this section had loads of line choice going on last year, and it was a really awkward high line here. But it looks like they pulled out some roots, leveled it off, and it's looking a little bit easier at the moment. Okay, I was giving the track builder shit there, but actually this is opened way up. The only line last year was between these two trees, straight down into that corner. But now there's an inside over that massive boulder, and also a wide line around that tree to set up nice for the corner. And that would be cool, but let's go look what they've done to the turn. So this used to be a tricky off-camber multi-line turn that you had to finesse and get real good, and now it's just a big berm. But it's soft and new, so it's probably going to get chewed up. Looks like off that rock is going to be absolutely pointless, but someone will do it, and I'll be here. I'll be here to watch. So with the rain forecast, we just know these sections with all these lovely polished roots are just going to be so wild. One thing about fresh sections in Val Di Sole is this stuff. It is pure powder. It hides a lot of obstacles and it makes for a lot of action. Sections like this, there's so many little pointy rocks hidden in the ground. So riders' main challenge is to find where they can put their tires with the least amount of edges. Carrying speed on this stuff is crucial. The less edges you hit, the more speed you carry. That is horrendous.
Well,
look how juicy those roots are. You don't want to touch them.
Not too bad, because they're all going that way.
Oh yeah, okay, it's fine then.
You're like, they're going that way. You can just you keep it straight, and you'd like keep your line. It shouldn't be too bad. It's more the ones that are like that or like that that'll f you over, but these ones are pretty sideways and just kind of push through.
The line choices down this stuff are almost endless, man. So many options. Fully low, in the middle, go high, high to low, low to high. Wide into this turn, inside this turn. I can't even talk about them all. I'm going to have to come back here and film. So with the showery conditions that are forecast this weekend, this is something riders have to deal with. We've got dusty, nice, loamy dirt, and then suddenly you hit a patch with wet, slick, dodgy roots. It's so hard to ride because you've got to attack some bits and then be delicate in others. And this bit is a wet dream for me. So we've got a super direct but really rocky and rough line down here, which presents a very tight turn at the end. Or we've got the super smooth round the white, that's my umbrella, I dropped it. The super smooth round the outside. It's a long way round, but it gives you a much more direct line through. 100% this bit is getting ghosted. So after that wild two-line choice in the rocks, bit of a flat traverse, cross the Conad El Pont Bridge and out into the famous stump section. It's famous for a couple things. One, it's super steep, and two, each corner has a high and a low line. So you can go high on one, low on the other, high on one, low on the next, low on another, low again. It's just super interesting, real rad, and you can see it from the gondola. It's a nice thing to look at on the way up. Look at the dust. Oh, it's so deep. Look at the powder. It's like sand from a beach. Warning, warning, hazard, hazard. Ooh. My sketch zone from last year is still here. I was worried they were going to have like smoothed this out and gotten rid of the rocks. This bit was wild first practice. This is the kind of track that you'd want a bike with braking forces removed from the suspension action?
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
There's a lot of big bumps, which will help. It will help with the new thing we've got on the bike.
A lot of braking as well.
It's true. You don't really get let off the brakes very much all the way down, so...
Look at how they have to hide the timing cables. This is one of the splits. Look at it tracing along under the root there. And then coming back round. The track tapers have slowed down the entrance to the super steep section. Used to sneak between those rocks and dive down in, but now they're pushing you either over this rock or you've got to come round and in. I feel like most riders are going to go for the rock. So this bit was famous for being the steepest section of the track. So hard to ride good, but we're not going that way. We're going round, new off camber, new turn, making things a bit flowier, but maybe a little bit easier. Oh man, we got another line choice. I'm going to need a team of filmer spool to cover all of this. So we've got an inside line, which has some pretty chunky, nasty edge rocks that aren't going to be easy to roll over, and it leaves you a bit of a tight exit, or fully around the outside. Long way, tight turn in, but it does allow you to get off the brakes earlier and carry the speed all the way down into the next bit. There is a sneaky line. If you come around this first drop right by the tree, you can straighten it up a bit. Oh, it'll be hard to do though. So the lower sections of the track, not much has really changed. It's definitely got a little bit rougher in spots. They've smoothed out a couple spots, but no massive changes. And that's fine, because I got a lot I need to film further up the track. Raddest line here was right as we're going wide last year, then gapping all the way from that rock down to where the banners are. Send it clean over for maximum velocities. Riders come down towards the lower sections of the track and they got this straight here where they can have kind of a breather. I mean, you can't chill out too much, but at least you can get off the brakes for a little bit. Let the arms relax before we go steep. And there's that thunder rolling through again. Best get down this before we get properly crapped on. Traditionally has been one of the slowest bits of the track. Really tricky, awkward, tight switchbacks. But the taping has changed, which has opened up a straight line. Straight line it down into the next corner. I mean, it's going to be direct, but it is going to be hard. Not too many grass turns this week, but fastest split at the bottom maybe?
Yeah, I play on the last plate. Yeah, they change a bit the taping.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's interesting because that change a lot of line, I think.
Yeah, it seems like there's more options.
Yeah, a lot of options. Yeah. So we spend a lot of time on
the
track walk.
What time did you come up? What's it?
Yeah, 10:30.
10:30.
So yeah.
Long time. One of the sickest finish arenas, flying out into the open, massive fly off, fastest berm ever, and then sending it down to the finish. Oh yeah, 4Cross World Champs is on this weekend as well. The 2018 4Cross World Champs. Methinks that's the old start board. Hey, Vital mountain bike. Let's do a long jump on this. Long jump? Yeah, do a long jump. Be sick. Awesome. That is the most open the inside of this turn has ever been. People are definitely doing that this year. So that's it for track walk here in Val di Sole today, and oh, I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell, but the track hasn't really changed much, but the taping has opened up so many more options and how you can ride the track. So yeah, I'm really excited to go up there, do some ghosting tomorrow. And one thing I forgot to say at the start of this video, another interesting team thing that's going on, is that Kent Gallagher, a Scottish rider, he got a call from Cannondale. Like, okay, what's going on here? And apparently Matt Simmons crashed in Lubes, broke his eye socket on his race run. Like, I don't know how he managed to do that given he was wearing a full face helmet. He must have hit the ground hard. But what they're going to do is get Kenta to ride Matt's bike. It's like a supercross, motocross, like rider swap, because when the riders are injured in those teams, they just bring in another rider to fill the spot. Super cool. So we're gonna have to keep an eye on Kenta this weekend, see how he gets on. If anyone wants to submit some questions for me to ask the pros on race day, there's a link for Patreon down in the there is a link for Patreon down in the description. Awesome, right. Gonna get to editing this video. Like if you did enjoy it, subscribe if you want to see the future videos, and I will see you tomorrow for practice day. Can't wait.